Morning. Welcome to my channel. We're going to go through a lot of information in a short period of time. I'm going to give you a lot of headlines that are going on, and these are through a lot of sources that I've filtered through, but um, very interesting. Uh, Subscribe, and you'll be able to get your alerts of new content coming up. And Okay, again, to start off, what we have going on is, as we all know, is a lot of Gaza and ceasefire, which is beginning 8:30 tomorrow morning, Sunday. We have TikTok stating that it will go dark if given that deadline. They're looking for a buyer, or or Trump to save it, which I believe what I've heard, um, may it be hearsay, that he wants to save it because it did help him in his elections. Um, Also, the as I noted earlier, the inauguration is going to be moved indoors uh, due to cold temperatures. I think it's more so for security reasons, and which makes sense. First time in 40 years this has happened. Okay, but again, safety first. Uh, Again, the Supreme Court upheld the law banning TikTok if it's not sold by its Chinese parent company. Um, Trump and Xi Jinping hold their first phone call. That's already been reported. OpenAI and bioscience. This is in tech. Made a AI model for bioengineering, which is a great thing. It has to do with stem cell research. Okay. Um, Again, looking through evacuations in California, where homes were burning and roads were already jammed when Pacific Palisades evacuation order came in already. They didn't realize that things were dire prior to organize and facilitate some orderly fashion, whereas all those cars that were jammed up, people just fleeing out of their cars without any direction. Again, a lot of things being investigated. We have with Walgreens, U.S. accuses Walgreens of filling millions of illegitimate prescriptions, including opioid. And Walgreens is the carrier, but it's also the doctors writing the prescription, and it's the drug companies allowing the doctors handling. So there's a lot more to it than that. I mean, we need Walgreens, CVS, all those pharmacies that are on our local corners, which have been pilfered by thugs and thieves. You know, hopefully we don't lose those. I mean, I enjoy going to the pharmacy for whatever as a convenience also. Again, uh, we have United Nations countering a surge in anti-Semitism. That's been going on for a while. Let's see, we got Trump vowing to end the war in Ukraine, but Moscow and Kiev are digging their heels in before any talks. Uh, the wildfires in California, Los Angeles, fires have scorched the largest urban areas in California in at least the last 40 years. I think it's the one of the worst natural disasters in America ever, cost-wise. But also, I was thinking about it, the homes that were burning up, being valued at 30, $40 million, is because they have a nice view, and they're in a club of millionaires. And who ends up paying for this? Are we going to be paying for it? And through raised insurance rates and all what have you. A lot of insurance got smart on the increase of real estate by double, triple within the last 3 years or so. But we'll see about that. Um, Many upgrades and pardon requests in Biden's last days in office. Um, Judges of Capitol riot defendants returned to D.C. For Trump inauguration. Judges allow Capitol riot defendants to return to D.C. for Trump inauguration. I think Trump's gonna pull all those people that never even had trial, supposedly. Again, that's hearsay. Um, did they have trials? And if they had trials, whether they must have been convicted, and convicted of what? You know, calling them mob, where they were going to protest. But then again, then you have Black Lives Matter that were burning buildings and demolishing cities, but that was okay, I guess. I don't know. It's just trying to understand the whole thing. So, um, Trump's Treasury pick, Bessent, this is U.S. foreign policy, calls for stronger sanctions on Russia over Ukraine war. That may come to an end as well. Let me see what we have. We have Trump's going to be arriving in Washington Saturday for inaugural celebrations to mark his return to power. Pretty big deal. This weekend is going to be something else, and Monday is going to be crazy. Um, Resettlement agencies race to help refugees ahead of Trump's second term. A lot of refugees, a lot of turmoil recently, and hopefully, well, these businesses are looking to profit on that by helping them relocate. Is that going to turn into a human traffic situation? Let's see. We have Navajo Nation firefighters battling wildfires in Los Angeles. Thank God. Uh, Navajo Nation firefighters. That's great to hear. Hopefully they get taken care of. Um, let's just see here. We have Tom Brady. Rumors that are going around. Fox exec calls it a never-ending merry-go-round of narratives. Well, that's from Washington top news. Yeah, let's see here. Tom Brady, was an amazing guy, and he is news. Oval Office. Biden got an Oval Office letter from Trump, and he may leave one in the desk himself. Okay, which is a tradition during changeover of presidents. Pam Bondi, this is an interesting, owns 3.9 million dollars in Truth Social, and people were asking me about Pam Bondi, and President-elect Trump nominee to be the next Attorney General of the United States. That's interesting. So, next Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi, discloses owning more than $3.9 million in stock of the Trump's Truth Social platform. That's interesting. And her total net worth in December was more than 12.1 million. Okay. So that's Pam Bondi. We have Arizona select official announces resignation days after he was sworn in. That's sounds like we'll hear more about that. Trump's influence spreads throughout state capitals in both substance and symbolism. Recognizing change, a lot of change going on out there. Tens of thousands are expected to converge on Washington for a march days before Trump takes office. So this weekend, Washington's going to be busy, guys. Kevin O'Leary, as we know, talks about TikTok, says he'll offer 20 billion in cash for TikTok. That's a big one. Kevin O'Leary, okay, and offering 20 billion in cash. Imagine having that much money. Uh, 20 billion in cash for TikTok. That's Kevin O'Leary, okay, from the Shark Tank. How do you go from the Shark Tank to being able to have 20 billion in cash? It's knowing people, I guess. Let me see here. We have breaking news. Foreign Minister says ceasefire between Israel and Hamas will go into effect 6:30 on Sunday morning. That's GMT time, guys. Ahead of inauguration, President Trump releases a new official meme to celebrate winning. Okay, and I guess we'll wait to see that. Pennsylvania High Court to take up a long-running dispute over mail-in ballots, return envelope dates. Pennsylvania High Court to take up long-running dispute over mail-in ballots. It's always been an issue. Why can't people just walk in, show their identification, and vote? Why the change? We can help people get there. Um, let's see what else we have going on. FBI Assistant Special Agent in charge who said New Orleans attack, not a terrorist event. Okay, there's more to that story coming up. Bill Gates on Trump meeting. Frankly, I was impressed, Bill Gates said. Bill Gates had a meeting. You can notice that all these big companies are now sitting down with Trump, favoring him. I'm surprised Bill Gates was favoring him. He's into the against into the green global warming aspect and all that. But we'll see what happens. But Bill Gates was telling everybody he was impressed with Trump. Um, Viral sicknesses rise amid quademic in U.S. CDC has said that we've had that was already reported. Norovirus is double than what it was last year at this time. Um, Blinken tells AP he's worried about Trump administration may abandon key Biden foreign policies. You think? TikTok says it'll go dark Sunday if unless Biden intervenes, which Biden has already agreed to work with Trump. Um, Los Angeles Fire Department officials demand chief ouster for wildfire mismanagement. Do you think? And that was 12 sources, and that's a big one. LAFD, Los Angeles Fire Department officials demand chief ouster. And do we know who that is? Chief Los Angeles Fire Department Chief Christian Crowley has come under attack for handling of the deadly wildfires. Several current and former battalion chiefs and administrators calling for her return. Makes sense. Comer says Biden lied to Congress. Now they're starting to turn on Biden. you know, they want to have, they're going to start going after him now. Now they're done. Now Trump's in power. They're going to start attacking him, and they're going to start attacking people that are not in power. But again, these folks are on their way out the door anyway. I think, as they said, any administration with three letters is going to be ousted. We're going to see about that. You know, do you think FBI did the right thing? Politically attacking, you know. So, is there better? Okay. Um, Remember, some of these government organizations should protect against outside entity. and not attack with an opinion. Only my opinion, folks. Georgia House Speaker backtracks on banning senator who was arrested trying to enter the chamber. House Speaker backtracks on banning a senator who was arrested for trying to enter the chamber. That's an interesting story. And let me see, just trying to catch up on here quickly. Louisiana governor says he raised MAGA flag for Trump inauguration. Louisiana governor is going to be raising the MAGA flag for Trump inauguration. Interesting. Uh, Fifth Circuit Court rules DACA is unlawful. It limits its rulings to Texas. Bribery fraud charges against former New York Lieutenant Governor, I believe, have been dropped. That was an interesting story. So federal prosecutors dropped bribery and fraud charges against former New York Lieutenant Governor Brian Benjamin on Friday. Case was closed after the death of a cooperating witness. Gerald McDonald led prosecutors to conclude they could not prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. So somebody died. Um, so um, Yellen, debt limit will hit day after Trump inauguration. That's a big one, guys. So we have another debt limit that's going to be reached day after inauguration. Get ready for that baloney. Treasury will use extraordinary measures starting on January 21st to avoid hitting the debt ceiling. As stated in her letter to congressional leaders, U.S. federal debt is approximately $36 trillion, folks. So now we're in debt $36 trillion. And we look around, and do you see any new infrastructure? Do you see any new forms of power grid or underground utility in place, or any anything of significance that has been built with all that money, $36 trillion dollars. Hmm. So extraordinary measures are temporary, and they may last until March 14th. Um, Again, a story in regards of reaching debt limits, and you know, we're already in trouble, and these debt limits are coming up faster and faster. So Federal Reserve will say it will leave climate change organization. Federal Reserve says it will leave climate change organization. It's a pretty big thing. I mean, climate change is happening, and we have to adjust to it, regardless how it's being produced. In regards of the uh, uh, oil companies coming into play and burning fossil fuels and the rise of temperature kind of correlating to that looks to be right, so um, so the whole revolution of machines and oil burning aspects in cars and all that, and then the temperature rise seems to correlate, I believe. But has that started a domino effect in global warming? So, and do we have to address it? Of course, we have to address it in some fashion or another. Can we stop it? Is the question. And stopping it by cutting out resources that we need to survive? I don't know. I don't know if we can do that. Everything that we're wearing, everything we use in life on a daily basis is made with fossil fuel. And till we can figure out how to get away from that. And in this recycling industry, also, again, in my opinion, cost more to recycle, and takes electric, and which how do we create electric and transport electric? Well, we only have limited, uh, solar power is considered obsolete. Wind power, the turbines are obsolete. They break down and then they litter our environment. Well, then again, hopefully AI will help solve this problem. Will help solve our energy problem, which will solve all problems, and also will help AI will help us solve our diseases, our cancers. And but we have to get around big money. Big money's controlling the world, and big money is pharmaceutical and oil. So just opinions, folks. Okay. Um, Let me see here. We got basically enough for today. I don't want to get too far into things. We have a dump truck slams into side of Target store, injuring 6 people. That's a news story um, in North Virgin, USA. Dump truck slams into side of Target store, injuring 6. South Dakota tribe lifts no banishment from lands. Um, we have U.S. Budget deficit to hit $1.9 trillion in 2025. U.S. budget deficit to hit 1.9 trillion. Huge, that deficit, more than we more than we have coming in. Republican states sue EPA over methane-free implementation. So what they're doing is they're they're targeting energy companies which we rely on for life, and trying to get them to stop emissions and huge costs. And who pays for those costs? People. We do. Can we afford it? Well, if we can't, we won't have it. Just the rich and powerful will have it, and the hardworking guy will probably have to live without it, right? Anyhow, guys, this is just a morning update, and hopefully I've been able to open your eyes to the current news. We have more updates throughout the day and every morning. Thank you. Subscribe so you'll be alerted to new content, and our my job is to deliver the headlines to you. I have some opinion, but again, these are my opinions. And thank you for watching. Thank you, guys.